So today we're at Bayou Bonfaka in Slidell taking water samples. The first thing students or scientists do when they want to learn about the health of a water body is they take water samples. A surface sample is taken with a bucket with a rope on it so that you can throw it out into the water to take your water sample. When you're taking a water sample, you're only going to take the water that you need, the amount of water that you think you'll need to conduct all of your tests. So the first thing is to make sure whether you're standing on a pier or on the side of a lake or a river, you're going to make sure that your footing is stable so that you don't fall head over heels. So you'll bend your knees a lot in order to take the water sample. The first thing you should do is rinse your bucket out to make sure that there's nothing in your bucket from a previous site or maybe accumulated dust or dirt that may have sat in your bucket over time. So rinse your bucket out by getting some water in it, swooshing it around, and dumping it away from where you're going to take your sample. So I've rinsed it once. You rinse it at least 3 times if it's really dirty. And you swish it around, you check the inside of your bucket to make sure it's clean, and you dump your sample. Now I'll take the sample for our water testing. And I'll be testing water clarity in a Secchi tube, and so I'm going to want to take at least half, maybe 3/4 of this bucket. You throw the bucket out away from the shoreline and you pull the surface water and the water that you have is what you'll use for your testing. Let me show you one more time how to take the water sample. You're going to throw it away from you, out into the water, and catch the surface water and pull the bucket towards you. You don't want the bucket to touch the bottom because you could get sediments suspended into that water, and that will change the reading of your water clarity from your Secchi disc. So another way to take a water sample at depth, not surface water, is to use a Van Doren water sampler. This water sampler has a messenger that goes down and releases the sides, which allow you to capture the water at depth. Also, the line that we use has measurements, increments of 1 foot measurements, so that you can tell at what depth that you're taking that measurement. So the way that you set the Van Doren up is that you pull the sides and clamp them onto the bushing. And then at your predetermined depth, you'll lower the Van Doren down into the water, holding the messenger in your hand. So that it won't trip your wires. And you look at the measurements on your line and you drop it to the level that you want to take the measurement. And I'm going to do 2 feet. And then I will send the messenger down the line. It'll trip the little suction cups on either side, and you have a water sample. And when you want to get the water out of the Van Doren to make your sample, you loosen this tubing and the water will flow out. And then you can test your water. Always rinse your Van Doren out before use and after use so that you don't carry anything from one body of water to another. And always, when you're done sampling, leave it open so that it can dry out. And now you've made your water samples.